On the other hand, there are some letters that are pronounced and they are not written. So for example, the word Allahu, Allah, the name of majesty. Allahu. When you pronounce it, you say Allahu. So you lengthen this fatha. And since you make it longer, of course, there is a long vowel with alif here. It's pronounced, but it's never written. Don't write it this way, like Allahu. This way, no, this is wrong. We write it this way, Allahu. And this is the long vowel with alif to lengthen the sound of the fatha. Yes, we pronounce it, but we never write it. So Allahu, this is the name of majesty, Allah. And same word here, ilahu. Ilahu. When I say ilah, so of course there is a long vowel here with alif, and that's why you lengthen the sound of the fatha. If you pronounce it without the long vowel, it would be pronounced like this, ilahu. Ilahu, like very short. And we do not say ilahu, we say ilahu. Ilah. So you lengthen the sound of the fatha because there is a long vowel here. So you say ilahu. Allahu, like Allah, the name of majesty. Ilahu, like God. Here you say lakin. If you pronounce it without the long vowel, it would be like lakin. 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 What is lakin? There is no lakin in Arabic. Lakin, very short. No, it's lakin. La. So here you lengthen the sound of the fatha because of the long vowel alif. Lakin. And some Arabs, sadly, they make a very silly mistake when they write this word lakin like this. Like lakin. What is this? Say, like we say lakin. So there is a long vowel after the lam. So yeah, I know there is a long vowel after the lam. You just pronounce it, but you don't write it. So this is wrong. A very silly mistake. We see it every day, unfortunately. So you don't write it this way. This is wrong. Here, lakinna. Lakinna. Like it's just like lakin, but here the nun has sukun, and here nun has shadda with fatha. Here you say lakin. Here you say lakinna. So of course there is a long vowel here with alif to lengthen the sound of the fatha, and we don't write it this way again. No, it's lakinna. You pronounce the alif without writing it. Here, ta-ha. Ta-ha. Like there are two long vowels here. When you say ta and then you say ha, ta-ha, ta-ha. If you pronounce it without the long vowels, it's kind of like taha, taha, taha. So you say taha. No, it's ta-ha. Very long, very long. So here there is a long vowel with alif. So you say ta, and here actually there is a long vowel alif. So you say ha, ta-ha. We don't write it this way. We don't say ta, ha. A long vowel after the ta, a long vowel after the ha. No, 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 this is wrong. We don't write it this way. We just pronounce it as if there is a long vowel here or a long vowel here. But we never, ever write this alif. So it's taha. Allah, the name of majesty, Allah. Ilahu, like God. Lakin or lakinna, both of them means like but. And taha, a name of a person. Here, when you want to pronounce this word, you would be like, it's easy. Here there is alif and lam, and what comes after it is ra. So it's a sun letter, so the lam is not pronounced. See, wow, so smart, well done. So you say ar-rahman, man, man. Ar-rahman, ar-rahmanu, manu, because there is dhamma. Say no, it's not ar-rahmanu. You don't make it very short this way. Here it's pronounced as ar-rahmanu. You will be like, why ma? It's just like a short vowel with fatha, so it's الرحمن. I say because actually there is a long vowel with alif here to lengthen the sound of the fatha. But where is it? Actually, it's pronounced, but it's not written. So you have to bear this in mind. You don't pronounce it like Ar-Rahmanu. You have to pronounce it as Ar-Rahmanu. Manu. Ar-Rahmanu. Here, if you want to pronounce this word, you will be like, it's easy. Like ha with fatha ha and dal with fatha za in the presence of a long vowel alif to lengthen the sound of the fatha. So you say the. Say yeah, well done. So how do you pronounce it? So you say haza. Haza. Say no, it's not haza. It's haza. Haza. You lengthen the sound of this fatha as well. Okay? I want you to be just. If there is a long vowel here to lengthen this fatha, so please make sure that there is a long vowel here in the word haza, okay, to lengthen this fatha as well. So it's not haza, it's haza. So you lengthen here and you lengthen there. You lengthen here and you lengthen there. Yes, this alif, a long vowel alif, it's written and it's pronounced. And here there is a long vowel with alif to lengthen the sound of this fatha, but it's not written, but it's still pronounced. So you have to pronounce it. So it's hadha. And here, hazihi. So there is also a long vowel with alif. Do not say hazihi, hazihi, like very short. It's hazihi, hazihi. Also here, this is a long vowel with alif. Yes, that's why it's preceded by a letter that has fatha. So you say zani, zani. Say yes, well done. What about this? It's ha with fatha. So it's supposed to be hazani. Say yes, it's not hadha, like very short. It's hazani. Also there is a long vowel with alif, like hazani, hazani, just like haza. Okay, I want you to be just again, fair again. Here there is a long vowel with alif to lengthen this sound, and here there is a long vowel with alif to lengthen this fatha as well. Here it's written and pronounced, and here it's not written, but you have to pronounce it. So bear this in mind. Also here when you say ha-u-la-i, also again this alif is a long vowel to lengthen this fatha, and there is here a long vowel with alif to lengthen the sound of this fatha. So you say ha-u-la-i, ha-u-la-i. So haza, hazihi, hazani, ha-u-la-i. All these words, they have a long vowel with alif, and here again a long vowel with alif, a long vowel with alif here, a long vowel here, a long vowel here, a long vowel here, a long vowel here and here. So you can tell that the long vowel alif in Arabic, it's like pronounced in so many words, but it's not written. Also here when you say ha kaza, like there is a long vowel here, you pronounce it but you don't write it. And here this is a long vowel, you pronounce it and write it. So you say ha kaza, it's just here after the ha, 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 or after the lam. Okay, so ha kaza, and here you say dhalika. So actually there is a long vowel here with alif, it's pronounced but not written. Also kadhalika, after the zal there is a long vowel, kadhalika. Also the tanween. The tanween, when you pronounce the tanween, you pronounce a noon. When you say kabirun, run, like you pronounce noon, you pronounce it but you never write it. So another silly mistake, actually, they would write it this way, kabirun. I say, what is this? I say it's kabirun, run. I pronounce the noon. See, it's not noon like a real noon, it's just tanween. You have to pronounce it just like noon, but you never write it as noon. It's very wrong. Okay, don't do this, please. It's kabirun. And also if there's tanween with kasra, kabirin. You pronounce noon, but you don't write it as noon. You just pronounce it. Also when you say kabiran, here there are two things actually. If you focus, you will find that tanween that is pronounced as noon, but it's not written as noon, right? So it's pronounced but not written. So you say kabiran, and instead of saying or writing it like this, kabiran, we don't do this. This is wrong. We don't write it. We just pronounce it. Okay? And here's this alif. What happens to this alif? It's alif tanween. It's not pronounced. Okay? Only you pronounce it if you're gonna put sukun. If you're gonna forget about the tanween. So you say kabira, ra. So yes, I pronounce this alif. If I don't pronounce the tanween, I have to pronounce the alif. If I pronounce the tanween, I make the alif silent. So again, if you wanna pronounce the tanween, forget about the alif. Say kabiran. So you pronounce the tanween, forgetting about the alif, making the alif silent. If you don't wanna pronounce the tanween, so you say kabira. You don't pronounce the tanween, but you pronounce the alif. So don't forget this. Alif has a lot of secrets in Arabic. So please bear all these stuff in mind. Okay, Ar-Rahmanu, the most merciful. Hadha, like this for masculine. Hadihi, this for feminine. Hadani, and it ends with N. Remember the dual. So it ends with N. So it's dual. And haula'i, like these men or things. Okay, when you are referring to something, when you are pointing at something, and we are gonna explain this in details later, inshallah. Here, hakaza, okay, like this way. Dhalika, like that. Kazalika, like that way or this way. It depends on the sentence actually to translate it. Kabirun and kabirin, tanween with kasra, or kabiran, tanween with fatha. Still the same word. Kabir means like big or great. Here you will pronounce all these words here as if there is actually a letter alif, a long vowel alif after the ha, okay? And you have to lengthen the sound of the fatha on the ha, just like we did here, like with hadha, hadhihi, hadhan, haula. So you have to say ha. You lengthen the sound of the fatha on the ha here. Okay? So you say ha ana, like ha ana, ha anta, or ha anti. Okay? Ha antuma. A long vowel with alif again. Pronounced and written. Ha antum. Ha antunna. So this ha is called ha at-tanbih, which means the ha that is used to sustain someone's attention. Like when you want to say like hey, this hey thing is the ha in Arabic, just to attract someone's attention. And ana, anta, or anti, if there is kasra here, antuma, antum, antunna, they are all pronouns, okay? Like ha ana, here I am. Ha anta, here you are, masculine, Ahmad. Ha anti, here you are, feminine. Ha antuma, here you are, both of you. Ha antum, here you are, like guys, plural, masculine. Ha antunna, here you are, feminine, or women or ladies, plural, feminine. So ana, anta, or anti, antuma, antum, and antunna, they are all pronouns that will be discussed later, inshallah, in details. But for now, as long as I say ha, so I have to lengthen the sound of the fatha, because actually there is a long vowel here, a long vowel here, a long vowel after the ha. It's not written, yes, but you have to pronounce it. Ha ana, ha anta, or ha anti with kasra if you're talking to a girl. Ha antuma, both of you. Ha antum, you guys. Ha antunna, here you are, women, ladies, girls. Here, you see the hey thing, right? Okay, so of course there is a long vowel here, pronounced but it's not written. And then you say ana, and then you say the. This ana, it's ana. What happened here? This alif is deleted, okay? So we delete this alif when it's connected to the. And actually, the literal meaning of ha ana the, here I am, okay? Here I am, ha ana the. So we don't write it this way. We don't say ha ana the, ha to sustain someone's attention, and the like here, and ana like I am. So ha ana the. We don't write it this way. Actually, this long vowel here, it's just pronounced but not written. And when you say ana and you delete this alif because it's connected to the. Here we don't delete this alif at the end because it's free, not attached to anything. But here we deleted this alif here after the noon because ana, the pronoun ana, is attached to the. And some Arabs, sadly, when they wanna write down the word ha ana the, they say ha ana the, and this is wrong. It's just like this. Here in this word, actually we'll find two things. So I want you to be alert. I want you to be smart. Look at this word. This is alif with dhamma, and what comes after it is wow. So yeah, that's good. It reminds you of ulu and uli and ulat, the owners of, the lords of, the men of, the women of, like someone who has something, right? So this wow is silent. So yes, it's written, but we never ever pronounce it. It's not a long vowel with wow, if you remember. So you don't have to lengthen the sound of the dhamma. You do not have to say ooh. No, it's ooh. Like you make it very short because this wow is not a long vowel. It's just a letter in the middle of a word, and this letter is silent. And we talked about it in details. And actually here there is an alif after the lam, أولئك. So you have to lengthen the sound of the fatha. And this word is a very good example for a letter that is silent but it's written, and a letter that is pronounced but it's not written, which is a long vowel here. It has the two things actually. أولئك. أولئك, like these are. ها أنا ذا أولئك. Here we call this الذي, التي, الذين. They are called الأسماء الموصولة. Actually, it means like that or who or which. So this who or which or that is الذي or التي or الذين. الذي for singular masculine, التي singular feminine, الذين for plural masculine. And here we say الذي, الذي. So here you can find that there is shadda with fatha. You say al. So you pronounce the lam twice, and you don't write it together. Like you don't write it this way. You don't say al-lazi. No, it's wrong. It's just one lam with shadda, and allati, one lam with shadda. Al-lazina, one lam with shadda. So you pronounce it, but you don't write it this way. There is something else I want you to bear in mind. Sometimes the alif after the ha, okay, should stay. Like you pronounce it and you have to keep it in some special words. And that's why I'm trying the best I can to write them all here, and don't ever forget them, because they are very important. Here, for example, this word, you will pronounce it like ha, te, ni. Ha, te, ni. So here there is a long vowel with alif, here a long vowel with alif, so you lengthen this fatha, so you say ha, you lengthen this fatha on the ta, so you say te, and then you say ni. Ha, te, ni. And you know that هذا, there is alif here, we don't write it. هذه, alif here, we don't write it. But when it comes to هاتان, we have to write this alif. And that's an exception. Bear it in mind. You don't write it this way. You don't say هاتان and there is alif here? No, it's an exception. هاتان. هذا like this. هذه for feminine. هاتان. And by the way, when you say هذان, here there is another alif, right? Like a long vowel with alif. Also, we don't write it, but we pronounce it. And هذان, it ends with n, so it's a dual. And since it's a dual and we say هذان, so it's dual for masculine, okay? And here هاتان, it's dual for feminine, okay? هاتان, pointing at two things or two persons, but they are feminine. هاتان, so please write the alif and pronounce it with this word, okay? It's an exception. And here, remember when I said like ها أنا, ها أنت, ها أنتِ, we wrote the ها أنا like this, and there is alif here. We didn't write it, but actually there are some exceptions. Here when you say ها هنا, ها هنا, here I write the alif, the long vowel alif after the ha. Why? Because it's an exception. You have to bear it in mind. You do not say like ha and then you say like huna, like this, like two ha next to each other, and you say that there is a long vowel here. No, it's wrong. Don't put the two ha like next to each other this way. Separate between the two ha with a long vowel with alif. I know that it's pronounced, but it's not written. But in this case, because this is a ha and this is ha and ha, please separate between them with a long vowel with alif. So you say ha هنا, ha هناك, ha هنالك. Ha هنا, this ha, it means right. Ha هنا, right here. Ha هناك, right there. ها هنالك, right there. You will ask me, what is the difference? Right there and right there? Yes, there is a difference actually. This lam is called lam al-bu'd, which means the lam for distance, which means this is like far, yes, like ها هناك, like right there, something far away from you. But when you say ها هنالك with the lam, it means something very, very far away from you, okay? So this is very far and this is just far. Here, remember when we talked about الذي and التي and الذين? We said that الذي or التي or الذين, who or which or that. الذي for masculine, التي for feminine, الذين for masculine plural. You can tell that there is shadda on the lam, shadda on the lam, shadda on the lam. So what is shadda? Shadda is a letter being doubled, being pronounced twice. And instead of writing this lam twice, we put shadda on the lam to tell you that we have to pronounce it twice, but we never write it twice. That's why if you write the word الذي like this, الذي, this is very wrong, okay? Because you just put shadda on the lam. And same goes with التي and with الذين. Some people say الذين like this, like lam and lam twice. Say no, you just have one lam and put shadda above it. So this is wrong and this is right. On the other hand, if you look here, اللذان, I told you it ends with n, okay, like هاتان. What ends with n is always dual in Arab, like the majority, most of the cases. We call it مثنى, it ends with n, okay? So you say اللذان. So there is kasra under the noon. What makes all these words very special that they don't accept the shadda. They just need to be written this way. Write the lam and then write another lam. The first lam has sukun, the second one has fatha. So you say اللذان, اللذان. And here and then you pronounce the lam with fatha, la تاني, اللتاني. And here اللاتي, T. So here there is lam with sukun and lam with fatha. Al, la, e. E. So lam with sukun and lam with fatha. All these words here, they never accept the shadda. Okay, so you have to write the lam twice. Some people will write down the word al-ladhan like this. Al-ladhan. And they would put shadda. Say no, this is wrong. Why? It's supposed to be like alladhi. Like alladhi and al-ladhan. I say no. Here there is an exception. They don't accept the shadda. So you have to write the lam twice. Al-ladhani, al-latani, al-lati, al-la'i. Al-ladhani, it ends with an, so they are dual. It comes from al-ladhi. Al-ladhi is singular masculine, so al-ladhan is dual masculine. Al-latani, al-latani, so it comes from al-lati, which is feminine. And you say al-latani, it ends with an, so it's dual feminine. Like for example, the two boys, who, al-ladhan. The two girls, who, al-latan. Because you're talking about feminine here. And allati or allai, both of them mean like feminine plural. Allati or allai, the girls who. And I say the girls like plural. So the girls allati or the girls allai. And there is no difference actually between them. You can say allati or allai, it doesn't matter. Just one last thing to bear in mind. Here, the word hatani. Actually, you can read it without using the vowels because here there is a long vowel with alif, so it's preceded by a letter that has fatha, and this is a long vowel with alif, so it's preceded by a letter that has fatha, and this is noon, and the noon of an as dual, the noon of an always has kasra. So you say hatani, hadani, alladhani, allatani. So it's always ni, so you do not have to write it. And that's one of the secrets how native speakers read words without using the vowel. I hope that you understood the lesson. I hope that I made everything clear for you. Inshallah, in the next lesson, we will be talking about the secrets of the Hamza and a lot of things to discuss, a lot of things to discover about the Hamza. So get yourself ready and see you later in the next video. See you later, alligator.